So, we are? Yeah, we are.
We're live?
Yeah, we
We're
are.
live?
Are
Oh, the first major difficulty for our show has taken place, and we appreciate each and every one of you switching channels right now. And the thousands of you watching this later who are like, why are you talking about this? We're not live anymore. All right, world. Hey there. What do you say there? My name is Justin. We got a new name for the show. It's called The Racers Recap. Woohoo! Right. Check it out. My name is Justin.
So official.
So official. This is...
Hashtag Racer Recap.
Diana.
I'm Krista.
And our friend from down south.
James Earl? Are you talking about Kurt or James Earl?
James Earl. And a very special guest, and I would say MVP of this season so far, Mr. Kurt Gibson.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Wow, man.
Wait, hold on. I have something I have to show you.
Uh-oh. Off the bat. Right from the bat.
What?
I want to show you.
Oh,
A
there's
dog?
a puppy.
Is this PG rated? Is this rated PG?
Yes, it is. It's a surprise.
What?
She's still clapping.
Oh.
Can you put this in?
Yes. That is
Okay.
awesome. Tiffany's getting the seal clap already.
Yeah.
Hello, Tiffany.
Hi. How are you? Are you
We're
like in your
chanting
car right
in the
now?
chat
Are you
room.
parked?
I'm in a car right now, yes. We're in the middle between Waco and Dallas,
Oh.
jamming out some tunes.
They were jamming. We were jamming with them a second ago.
We were.
We are so sorry for everyone for being late. It was Tiffany's fault. She had to put she had an eye makeup problem she needed to redo.
She doesn't even know what's going on, but yes.
Listen, she had to take pictures for her fashion blog. No, stop.
That's right. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So, Kurt, what's going on, man? This season, I think everybody was kind of sleeping on you because of how much of a character Brody is and how very out there he is. That it's really taken up to these last couple episodes for everybody to give you the respect that you're deserving. How do you feel about the race so far?
Well, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. You know, it's been quite a wild ride, obviously. You guys have all been there. You know, it was funny, especially that first episode. You know, Brody had so much to make people laugh, and I was the whole time perfectly content with kind of just letting Brody just be himself and kind of dominating that, you know, all the kind of airtime and the one-liners, because, you know, frankly, he's just really good at that. I mean, that's who he is in real life, you know, so it's just perfect. And I just love to just, you know, flow off that because, you know, Brody's a, you know, loud and boisterous guy, and sometimes I kind of poke fun of him with all the things that he does, but, you know, I think we make a good combo. No,
it definitely takes a balance to do good on the race, and it seems like you guys have a good balance. If there was two Brodies, it wouldn't work as well. No. So you definitely need somebody to be the yin to the yang.
I was going to say, right now, I don't see an equal balance because I feel like, Kurt, you've been carrying the team, but I'm curious now to see Brody kind of step up and see him have his moments.
So now he has to do every single roadblock, right? From now to the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to do. I think you can't do a maximum of 6, like everybody knows. So
right.
I just did my 6th. So yeah. So Brody's doing the roadblocks, and it was clear to every team. They all called it out.
Do you feel pressure because of that, or more pressure because sometimes, like when you think about you doing the roadblock, you get a lot of pressure, like, oh, it's going to be my turn. But how do you feel that now it's kind of out of your control?
You know, I think we kind of had a strategy going into it. You know, Brody, a couple of things he didn't want to do. You know, swimming, I was going to do the swimming ones, which is really ironic because he did the mud volcano one. He ended up having to swim out to that, you know, thing, and so he had to get in the water. And it was clear when he got out, he's exhausted, right? Because swimming's not his forte. And I think the other one that he didn't want to do was kind of the puzzle type or memory type challenges. So, you know, we were planning for
so far.
Right. So at the end, you know, I was going to do the memory challenge on the last leg, and Brody was always going to do the first, you know, whatever the other roadblock was, probably some sort of physical one. So, you know, I guess in every other one in between, it was really kind of, hey, are you feeling it? Are you not feeling it? And so we just kind of went with our guts, and that's just how it worked out.
Yeah, Kurt, what were some of your fears on the race? Like, were you scared of heights? Were you Was there anything that you were a little, I guess, wary of doing if it came up?
No, I don't really have any fears. I think the biggest fear going into it was getting eliminated in the first episode. I mean,
That's what we
yeah,
said.
I mean, that was maybe if I do this and spend the time to do this, I don't want to get eliminated on the first episode, and I want to at least get through a couple, you know. So we've definitely made it that far, you know, where we can say, wow, we really, really enjoyed it. But I remember being in that cave, and I was freaking out because that one piece that I was missing, I had gone back probably 6 times. They only showed it, you know, I probably went back once. And I just thought, wow, I lost the piece. There's no way I'm going to finish it. Rebuilding it and thinking, okay, I got 5 more pieces. I'm going to rebuild the whole thing. Couldn't find it. So I'm just sitting there down there thinking, oh, my gosh, I just got on The Amazing Race, and I'm going to get eliminated because I can't put together a face mask in a cave, you know. But luckily we got out, and, you know, all's been pretty good since. But I think that was my only fear going in. I don't really have any heights or, you know, any other type of fears like that.
What did you do to prepare? Because Justin and I know, like, James are all practice puzzles, and Krista and Tiffany had all their little, like, doodads for their school bags. So we all kind of did something to make sure that we were as prepared as we could be. What did you do, or what did you and Brody do?
So Brody and I obviously both play Ultimate Frisbee, and we had just come off our club season, which ends, you know, beginning middle October, and so, you know, we were in pretty good shape, so we just maintained through that time. Brody obviously tore his ACL, so he was being the whole time. So it was me, you know, pushing Brody.
Oh, Kurt, where'd you go?
There he is.
There he is.
Maybe. Oh no.
Listen,
Well,
the Wi-Fi.
Justin, you might.
Can you hear me?
The Wi-Fi's rough in Texas, especially in the middle of nowhere. We understand that.
What I say is.
We can kind of hear you, but kind of.
Okay. That I honestly feel like since you did in the beginning, most of the roadblocks, that I see like your strategy is like you're very calm, you get the job done, and I just feel with Brody, he gets really excited, and I feel like sometimes that might be the problem when finishing tasks, because, you know, sometimes when you're under all that pressure and you're trying to like go fast, you don't realize the details you had to focus on it. And the example, Chris and I were talking about it, everyone who wasn't doing the roadblock was sitting underneath the example as like their shade.
Cheating off Ashley.
So I give you a lot of credit when you do the roadblocks. Like you literally do this with, you know, you're very calm and you just like focus. So I like that about you.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's definitely a strength. It definitely shines through. A real calm focus as opposed to that energy that when you get lost, that energy takes over, and it's something that we've all experienced at some point, whether it's from lack of food, lack of sleep, lack of whatever. But I got a cool question that all of us can answer. It's from the chat room. It was the first question asked. All the way from England, questions for season 27 to 28 races. If you could swap one team from the other season to race against on your season, who would you want it to be and why? So let's start with you, Kurt. Who would you want to race against from season 27's team? From season 27.
I mean, if we were thinking strategically, wouldn't we want it to be the weakest team?
Yeah, like TMZ.
I don't know. Is it strategy, or is it, hey, I want to race against the best, or is it, hey, I want to race against like Tanner or Josh because we keep getting compared to them, or I want to race against the cheerleaders and see if they could distract us like they distracted the Texas boys?
Oh, we did so much more than that.
Gosh, you know, I don't know. I honestly think that I would probably want to pick one of the weaker teams just because I think that just kind of gives you a leg up, you know, if you think you're a stronger team than them. And, you know, I certainly wouldn't want to pick, you know, any one of you guys here in this chat just because you guys were successful, right? I mean, you guys were pretty much there close to the end.
TMZ is a safe bet. They didn't even complete a leg.
That's the only weak team in our season, so you have to pick TMZ.
Well, and to show you how I would probably pick them is I don't even really remember that team. So that would be the team
rightfully so. No one should remember that team.
All right. What about you, ladies?
I think that Honestly, I'm going to go for the complete opposite approach. I'm going to go for someone that's strong and competitive because we don't doubt ourselves, and I want to prove to people even more that we can beat a strong team. So I would kind of want to go against Tyler and Corey because they are so strong, and also I feel like if I was on the race with them, we would have so much time.
Yes,
So
you would. Yes, you would.
it's kind of like competitiveness and entertainment value for us, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you would say?
I agree, because even we were talking about it before that Tyler and Corey, like Corey's the Krista and Tyler's the me, because
They have
certain
initials.
things that Tyler says is something that I would say, and then Corey's like, no.
You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
It just, yeah. That's our pick.
What about you, James Earl?
I would want to race against Kurt and Brody. I feel like they're a really fun team that I would want to try to like beat just to prove to my, like Tiffany said to kind of, or sorry, Krista said to prove to myself. But I feel like during the downtime, like the airport times, they'd be a blast to hang out with.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, James Earl. I agree with that.
I know. I think I'd want to go up against like Bernie and Ashley.
Real
I feel
calm,
like,
cool,
yeah, but I still
collected.
feel like they're like our Bizarro World couple.
That's what we thought we were going to race like, and this is what happens when we race like. Yeah.
They just seem like they're like our spirit animal. That
When we watch it, we were saying like they remind us of you guys, like
Yeah.
cute. In, well, in
If we got that
they got
edit.
a nicer edit.
ways, but
No.
I'm sure they never fought.
Yeah. I'm along those lines. I want to race against the best, so I think that there's clear like three best teams this season are Kurt, Brody, Tyler and Corey, and Bernie and Ashley. Matt and Dana are kind of, but
I think Sherry and Cole are starting to
Sherry and Cole, but I don't see them as like the dominant team. So I'm actually gonna say Kurt and Brody. I wanna go up against the best, and I think you guys are the best. Statistically, you're the best going into the season. You're the only team that has a chance to catch our average. So I would want to go up against you guys. Bring it.
Wow, you're better than us. We would pick a weak team, so that's cool.
Hey, Kurt, I have a question for you too, because all these other people were too nice to ask you. The Express Pass.
Uh-oh.
Do you feel like you wasted it?
we're not too nice to get there.
Yeah.
Well, 100%.
Oh, good. They don't deny it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because after watching this past episode, which would have been the last episode we could use it was clear that after I did the roadblock, if we had gotten there at any place, we would have passed every single team there, and we would have won the leg, right?
Yeah.
And then we would have been in first place going into the next leg. But it's obviously hindsight's 20/20. But I mean, we were there for 40 minutes, and Brody hadn't figured out the puzzle. And within 2 minutes, I could hear Brody under his breath, we might have to use the express pass. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this. And I just started thinking, I'm like, oh gosh, come on, Brody, you got this, and Brody's a smart dude. He's a competitor, so he sat there for 40 minutes and was just like muscling this thing. And I just was thinking to myself, gosh, there's got to be another way. And obviously you can't help them, but it was just kind of the stress. You could just feel the teams catching up. And so I just thinking, oh my gosh, like, is he gonna get this? He literally told me I should have either gotten it or I could just be here for hours. But looking back at how this last episode went, I should have just said, no, you're going to sit here until the next teams arrive, and you're going to watch them do the roadblock and copy what they do and go through. So, you know what? That was 100% my bad, because he was in the Shark Tank. He had to go up against the sharks in the corner. And I was sitting there in my gold bathing suit, kind of just chilling, and I should have been the one to say, no, you shouldn't have done that, or we shouldn't have done that, or you got to go do the roadblock, just finish it, even if we get third, fourth, whatever, and then save it for the last one. But again, hindsight's 20/20. But you're in the moment. The teams are catching up. We could feel them just, and so it's my bad. My bad.
Potential racers, here it is, potential racers. You should know that the producers have been doing this long enough to know that most people save those express passes till the very last leg. So they make those tasks longer and harder, so if you do wait till those last leg to use it, you are rewarded greatly. So for future racers, if you can wait till the last possible leg to use it, you will be greatly rewarded by the producers.
I also have something to talk about since we're on.
Uh-oh.
the express pass. So what was really funny, what happened with us kind of happened with you. So I don't know if like people behind the scenes seen it. Sorry, so that's my Staten Island. So when we U-turned, or kind of U-turned, Justin and Diana, we were on the mat with Kelsey and Joey. So Phil had spilled the beans and was like, well, now you guys can't use your U-turn. So we were like, oh my God, like everyone's going to know now. So we kind of made a pact with Kelsey and Joey. We're like, please don't tell anyone. Like, we really just don't want it to be a big thing. And then everybody knew the next day, and it turned into a huge thing. So how did you feel telling Bernie and Ashley, which I want to say they kept their word and didn't tell anybody? So
I was about to say, sounds like we were closer with Bernie and Ashley than you guys were to the reporters.
We were closer, but we didn't know.
They were sneaky.
Right.
They told Logan at the airport because they were on the same flight to India, so no one else knew. But of course, they told the team with the biggest mouth, Chris.
I know, and like in hindsight, poor Chris and Logan get reamed out because they just like nonchalantly said this to us, and we just came at them with you, and it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, credit Bernie and Ashley. We like as soon as that happened on the mat, we just told Bernie and Ashley, hey, we really appreciate it if you guys didn't tell anybody, and they said that they wouldn't, and they didn't tell anybody. So, you know, kudos to them. We appreciate it. I mean, it didn't really end up matter. It's harder, but, you know.
Well, it's nice that they kept their word, so.
So here we are. Anybody else got some questions
for
Kurt? I know. Okay, go for it.
I have like two, so we'll do part one. What was the hardest part of the race? Was it like the flying part of it? Was it the not eating part of it? Where like keeping yourself healthy? What did you feel was the most difficult part, like from that aspect?
You know, to be honest, I think it was the off time when we weren't racing. I thought the easier part was actually going through the motions. Although it was high stress, when you were kind of, you know, locked in the hotel rooms and you were kind of waiting around, you changing the time zones and, you know, the flights. I mean, that was really tough, you know, because, I mean, I don't know how your bodies react to kind of all that traveling and whatnot, but, you know, if I don't get my sleep, you know, I start like getting that itch in my throat, you know. And
everybody got sick.
Right? So.
When I don't sleep, I want to just kill somebody.
Yeah, we got spit in the face. So
in Africa,
we were all sick.
Yeah, and then, you know, you start the leg in the middle of the night, and then you've got to go to the airport, buy a plane ticket. 4 hours later, you're taking a 5-hour flight, then arriving at 9 a.m. somewhere, racing all day.
Yeah.
It's that kind of where you start the leg, you know, and then all that waiting till you book the flight, get on the flight, and all that waiting. That's probably the worst part. I think when you're actually running around in the city, that's by far my most favorite part of the race. I mean, it's fun, exhilarating. It's then when you stop and kind of relax, and you're like, then you just start stressing about the next leg. You know, all right, what's gonna come?
He's so cute.
Somebody wants.
He's just so cute. Sorry.
Okay, a couple people want to know. They said, is Kurt married? How old is Kurt? Is he single? I'm asking for a friend. Well, let me tell you something, because Kurt stood me up when he came to New York. Because we were supposed to go salsa dancing, and he was too busy for me.
Yeah, I'm just over here like saying to Justin, I'm like, Kurt is so cute. He's like talking, and I'm just staring at him.
But he's coming next weekend.
I'm coming next week. We can do it, but we can go salsa, whatever. But I did not stand you up. Come on, let's be real.
Busy.
You guys were out getting drinks somewhere. I think that's what happened.
No, I was definitely just like watching your Amazing Grace on my couch.
And people want autograph pictures of Kurt in his gold bathing suit. So if you could send us stack over signed.
I have something to say about that. It was funny. I had a big work party that 5th episode for Chamonix, and they did the preview for like the next couple episodes. And of course, I was like all work people, you know, senior directors and all that. And you know, of course, the last clip is me in my gold bathing suit, nobody else, and all I hear is the screens erupt. People paused it, were taking pictures and everything. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this was the worst time to have any sort of work party for this. You know, oh, so embarrassing. So embarrassing.
What I was jealous because I saw the extra footage that you guys had downtime in Dubai.
in your bathing suits when Sherry and Cole came? That reminds me of
yeah.
us in Africa. Remember, we were by the pool, but they didn't show it.
I'm surprised you guys didn't. Did you like? Oh, that's right. You guys didn't get to keep them.
Well, actually, I think we could have. I remember when we went, once we finished, we changed in the bathroom, and I remember like having it in the bag, and I literally just thought, should I ask production what I should do with this? What should I do? I just dropped it right outside the bathroom and started running. I was like, I do not want these gold bathing suits anymore.
So, I have a question. Why is it take to this episode to find out that you were a cancer survivor? Like the last,
I know.
anytime that there's been a cancer survivor on the show before, or
It was
anybody,
like part of their intro.
it was the whole thing. It was like their storyline. Is this something?
Bam! Just like jab, jab, hook, and just got us with the. Oh, by the way.
Is this something that you guys did, or?
I don't know why. I mean, obviously, I have no control over what production does, but I mean, those interviews that they showed were before the race even started.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, you guys remember doing that, so that was not at that leg. I guess they just chose this episode to do it, to mirror it off Brody's comments or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why they chose to do now.
What made you get checked so young, if you don't mind me asking? Because it's just colon cancer is it's something that I guess in your 20s you're not even thinking of, especially as a man.
And he caught it at stage 0. Like, you caught it as early as you possibly could. So how did that happen?
Well, no, it was stage 3.
Oh, 3,
so
sorry.
Stage 4 is the worst. That's when it metastasizes everywhere.
Oh, I thought
so, no, actually, I was in college, and I started having blood in my stool, like very small amounts. And so I actually went to the doctor, got it checked. They kind of checked for some things. They're like, oh, just kind of go, I think you're fine. Just kind of keep doing what you're doing. And I was playing ultimate frisbee. I was running, jumping, diving. I thought, okay, maybe I hurt something internally and whatever. But as I moved out to Dallas and I got a job there, so within a month it started getting worse. So I finally got it checked out again. And so they found a polyp, and so they actually had to go in. I had to have a colonoscopy and the whole deal. And they actually went in and found it was too large to take out during the colonoscopy.
Wow.
But they took a little autopsy, little piece off of it, and they found out that there was cancer cells in it. So then they had to operate. And so, anyways, my aunt, two of my aunts, and my grandfather on my maternal side have all passed away from colon cancer. So I've got that gene. It's called Lynch syndrome, and so that's why I had it at such a young age.
Right. Wow.
You're just much more susceptible to it. So that's why they kind of went ahead, did a kind of essentially got rid of my whole colon, and then, but I'm living a completely normal, healthy lifestyle. So I'm very, very blessed.
Wow, you are very blessed.
He's got a robo-colon.
Pretty much.
Super butt. I guess I got to check your butt out now. You must have like a super butt.
Dark horse.
Remind me to check out your butt.
I got metal plates that make his ass like nice and round on the bottom.
What is happening right now?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
We get a frisbee?
I'm in rare form.
We need a frisbee to play with our dogs.
No, yeah, and for school.
And for school.
I want to bring it.
I want a frisbee.
You want frisbees? Signed frisbees.
Brody's got all those. Brody's got all that. He's good at that.
All right, I'll text Brody. All right, what else? Anybody got any other questions for Kurt?
Yeah, I have another one. Sorry, if nobody else does. What was the most physically challenging task that you had to do up until this point?
Well, I think the camel races in Dubai were the hardest. We were the most exhausted. It wasn't. It was 2,000 meters, so I'm trying to think how long it was in terms of time. I want to say maybe, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. 4 minutes. I might be wrong. But what we didn't realize was you could adjust the seats on the bikes, and we kind of had I think we had all the same size bikes, and so Ashley and the shorter folks it was like perfect for them. But me and Brody got on these bikes, and our legs were just kind of just going like this, right?
You're like hitting their chins.
Which is why at the end our quads were just crushed and destroyed because we had could only use our quads. We didn't get full extension and get kind of the glutes and the hammies activated, So
hours. I adjusted hours specifically because I remember we had to do the water bikes. I tried to get Spike. I stole his, and my feet wouldn't reach the pedal. So I'm like, this is not right. This is the wrong line.
Yeah, it was probably between that and then I'm trying to think. Was there anything? The one that I just did in Bali, like my neck was hurting for days and days and days afterwards because it was just that wooden bamboo thing was just resting on your like bones right here. I mean, that was the only way to keep it up. And
now, did you have to put that on your shoulder, or could you have carried it this way if you needed to?
That's a good question.
I was just thinking
we were kind of arguing about that.
I don't think you physically could have held it like that, though, Justin, because if you think about it, if you're doing this, it's just biceps. And if
I know, because Rachel kept having problems with balance, so I figured if she kept it like this.
Her strings weren't on the edges.
Well, I can tell you, I don't think I could have held it that way because, however, first of all, those things were very, like, they were each very different, and when I was holding mine, I had to, like, it was so awkward because they were unbalanced, and so I couldn't just hold the buckets. I had to hold them from the back because otherwise the water, if it were in its natural state, it would just tip over and the water would pour out. So I was having to, like, hold it up on my shoulder but then push down on my arm, so it was, like, completely extended. It was a very awkward position, and I don't know if I just got a weird one or whatever. I'm sure everybody's was like that, but it was not difficult to get that through. If it was perfectly balanced, it probably would have been good, but mine was definitely not. I can say that.
Tyler and Corey are in the chat room.
In classic Krista form, she fell like 4 times on our race, and even sitting down, she falls.
I forgot about that. We were on the too.
Is that what happened? Did you just fall, Krista?
I couldn't reach the pedal.
They're asking, did you just fall? No, her iPad.
I fell.
All I saw was the ceiling hit the roof. All right.
But I fall on the bike in India, so go ahead.
All right, Kurt. So who did you guys line up at the finish? I ask everybody, when you're starting at the starting line, who did you guys eye up as your biggest competition? Because everybody looked at you, obviously, as the biggest physical threat. Who did you guys look at?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think definitely Tyler and Corey. We thought Bernie and Ashley, the Kings, we thought, were very smart, that they'd be tough competition. And actually the Vine brothers, Darius and Cam, we thought that they would be, as physically or even more physically able than we were. Yeah, they were, seemed like good athletes, but I guess.
Can I say something? This is really shady. Can I say something? I saw a tweet from one of them, and it was like, "Oh, is it weird that I'm not watching The Amazing Race anymore?" Yeah, that's weird.
Who wrote that? Who said that?
One of the Vine brothers. Like, that's not cool. Like, you guys, like, I don't know.
Had a chance of a lifetime to be on a television show.
Yeah, like, I don't know. How do you feel about that, Kurt? Like, sorry, but I gotta throw this.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's, tough. I can only imagine being eliminated early on in the race. That would, like I said, that was my worst fear. So yeah. I think, obviously you want to support the show. It's such an amazing experience. I mean, one of the biggest, if not, the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. But I just can't imagine what it'd be like. And sitting in that cave, I'd be completely bitter that I blew it or whatever if I got out in the first leg. That would be tough. So I don't really, if that's true, I can't fault them for that. I would want to support it, but I'm not in his place, so I don't know.
Hold on. Sequester was in Bali, all right? That means they just got to hang out in Bali for a couple extra weeks. Like, you're going to complain about that?
I know, but do you really think TMZ watched our season?
No, TMZ don't care. They're just busy.
Also, Justin, how bitter would you have been? I'm just saying. Like, if you were
better? Oh, my God. You kidding me? But I'd still be doing the recaps. I'd be crying most every week, but I'd still be doing the recaps.
Yeah, he'd be picking everybody apart. Like, I could have done that better than you, and I could have done that better than you. And she'd be like, you never know that. You never know that. I'd be like, you don't know.
I can hold my breath under one
for 5 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Jesus. I'm not that good. 2 minutes. All right, Kurt, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Anybody's got some questions for you? You're welcome to hang out for our recap, but you have been hanging for so long.
Jesus,
no problem. Nope.
Oh, well, I have like a behind-the-scenes question, just really quick. I heard that you had to sleep on that boat that the pit stop was at. What was that like? Because we had to sleep on a boat as well, and I got pooped on because we were like under the stars.
They could barely walk on that boat.
I know,
you slept on that?
Rocky.
did not like that boat that much.
No. It wasn't like being rocked to rocked to sleep like a baby.
I mean, when we got on that pit mat, I literally almost fell off that side. Like I literally almost fell off, and so I think that was kind of started the joke of like, oh, Zach and Rachel might be able to walk the plank here, you know, because I was actually after on the mat, I was like, hey Phil, can I jump off this? This looks awesome, you know. Now that we're, you know, everything was done, and so I think that's what ended up happening. But yeah, no, it was not. I would say most of our sleeping arrangements when we were during the race was not the best.
Yeah.
You know, you're changing time. I mean, we just come from Dubai, right? So my clock was 9 hours the other way, right?
Oh,
so it
God.
just was not a fun situation.
We
you know?
saw tents in extra footage land, and Brody putting that tent together was
Everything Brody does is awesome. That's why you gotta love it. He's such a funny guy. Like just put it. You know, Brody's got his grunts and everything. He's great. He's so awesome. I'm gonna put this together. I can't fit in here. Come on, guys.
He kind of reminds me of Chris.
He's hilarious.
Well, it reminds me of Chris from our season. He's just like, so can't put it together.
But it's
Okay.
fun.
So Zach and Rachel, did anybody give them the idea to walk the plank, or was that just their own thing?
That was so set up.
That's what I was saying. I actually almost fell off. I don't know if I broke up, but I almost fell off getting onto the mat. And I kind of was joking with Phil, hey, can we just jump off this? And then I think that's what turned it into them jumping off the plank.
So look at you.
I don't think that was set up.
That was all you. Look at you, production.
My one contribution to that, I think.
All right, Kurt, thank you so much for taking the time with us. Let Jesus take the wheel and head down to head to Jesus music now. We appreciate you taking the time and being so patient with our technical difficulties.
Call me next week.
Oh, I got you, Chris. Actually, Justin, I want to share one more thing.
Definitely.
That you'd probably kind of, I guess, give me the evil eye a little bit, because do you want to know how the story of how I got on the race, of how it happened?
Sure.
So obviously social media season, and so they had, you know, reached out to, you know, Brody first, obviously, and so he was looking for a partner. So I was in Nashville, I'll never forget, and I was in a hotel. I was there for work, and so it was like 10:30 at night, and he calls me. And I'm like, should I answer? Like, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm too tired, you know. And so I pick up. I'm like, hello. And Brody's like, yo, dude, do you want to do the Amazing Race? And I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, we might be able to have a shot to get on. And I'm like, okay. To be honest, Justin, I didn't really watch a lot of the episodes. Just throwing that out there. So I knew it was a big show, and I knew it was a network television show. So I'm thinking, this could be awesome. But then, you know, I'm thinking, okay, wait, I've got a career. I work at PepsiCo. You know, I've got a great thing going. Like, I asked him what the dates were. It was like a month long. And so I told him, I just don't know if I can do that. You know, I just don't think I can work that out. Like, I don't have enough vacation. There's no way I'd get that time off. And so I told Brody no. I said, Brody, I can't do it. So he goes, and so I'm like, okay. So he goes out, starts trying to find another partner. The next day, I'm in the car with my boss, and we're driving to the airport, and so I nonchalantly just kind of tell him, hey, you know, Patrick, by the way, you're not going to believe this. I got asked to do the Amazing Race, but, you know, don't worry. I told him no, like, I don't have enough vacation. And he's sitting in the front seat, and I'm in the back, and he, like, turns around like this. He's like, are you serious? You told them no? He's like, that's my wife in my favorite show. He's like, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He's like, you have to do that. I will cover it for you. And I'm like, okay, so my boss is into this. Now, the one thing I didn't mention was my brother's wedding, who I was the best man in, was getting married in November. So that day, and they needed to know right away if I was going to do this. So I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do? Like, so I call my brother. I go, Chris, so here's the deal. I just got invited to do the Amazing Race. It's potential. It's not sure if it can happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's during your wedding. So what would you do if you were in my situation? And he's like, well, if I was the best man at your wedding, I wouldn't miss it. And I'm like, darn it, you know, what am I going to do here, you know? But long story short, he actually ends up saying, you know, hey, I'll I don't care if I move my wedding, because they had reserved a day in Sunday, but nobody really gets married on a Sunday, so they were able to move the deposit like any one of those days, like 4 weeks away, 4 weeks in front. And he's like, well, actually, we could use some extra time to move it. He's like, oh, I just have to ask my wife or my fiance. I'm like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen? She's right. And it ended up where they were like, oh, we want more time, this is actually fine, no big deal. And so like that's how it ended up happening. I had those two things that were blocking me from doing it, and
they just those doors just opened themselves.
And this could be a $1 million story. This could be
I was like, this is a godsend. Like I meant to do this. All these things just like lined up in a row, like that. So I was like, oh my god.
Some people are saying you have the boss of the year. Like you should really take care of him on National Bosses Day.
I think you have the sister-in-law of the year too.
Yes.
We're taking good care of him. We're taking good care of him. He was at the premiere, so Justin, I know you were there. I don't know if you'd met him, but we got him out there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I met everybody. I went to talk to everybody. I didn't know who they were, so I didn't know if they worked for the show behind the scenes. So I was like, hey, right. How are you? You know me.
Right. Yeah.
That's such a cool story. Thank you so much.
Story.
That's awesome. No, listen, if you're honest about it, I'm okay with it. I hate the people who come on and lie and say, oh, yeah, I was a big fan of the show. I've seen like 6 seasons. Well, you're not a big fan of the show. That's somebody who binge-watched before they got on. But,
which I did. I think I might have broken up, but I binge-watched before I got on because I wanted to learn about everything. And so.
Well, at least.
Respect.
Yeah, but at least you did the research. Some people don't do the research. I mean, it's a chance of a lifetime. You have to do it.
Yeah. What?
I heard a moo.
No, it's a siren. We have like the siren that goes off.
Volunteer fire department.
Yeah.
Oh, we just arrived in Crowley, Texas. So
maybe it was a moo. Maybe you guys are not a siren.
Here, I don't know.
I heard a
moo. All right, then I'm saying.
Well, on that note.
Yeah.
All right.
People heard moo, so it must be Kurt in Texas.
Let's get to the recap.
All right, Kurt. It was so nice to talk to you and look at you.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Diana.
He never answered. Hey, Kurt, are you single? He never answered.
Our friends want to know in the chat room.
Yes, I am.
He's single, chat room.
Check him out on Twitter, Instagram, and on the Dallas Roughnecks Ultimate Frisbee team, yes?
Yeah, come tune in. Watch us.
Tinder.
No, I don't do that. No, I don't do that.
He's on Grindr. So, all right, go.
Dark Horse.
Thanks, Kurt.
All right, y'all. Have fun. See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.
That's so cool. What a cool guy.
All right, well, start your recap. I have to go.
Bye.
Because I have to do some fashion. No, I'm going to stay here. I just have to do some.
Where can people check out your fashion blog?
TiffanyChantel.com. Starting May 1st, all my tutorials will be on my YouTube channel. And check out my Instagram now because I just posted something and like it. Bye.
Hello again.
It's a siren over at Justin and Diana.
Yeah, it's our house. It's not the moo. We have like a siren at like quarter and 10 during the summer. We have like curfew, so the siren goes off like twice as the warning, and then and if
Here we go. Here we go. Let's get it on, people. You guys, thank every one of you for being here. We have over 100 people.
Yeah, we
thank
had
you guys so much.
Problems,
a lot of technical difficulties. Verizon box went out.
I was really proud of how you handled that too, Justin.
Thank you, baby. I was trying not to lose my cool. All right, so we're leaving Dubai after a nice full intro again here in week number 9. Full intros. I don't know if you guys noticed. I think maybe
Obviously.
We're the only people who noticed.
Oh, the full intros?
Yeah. Us and like Michael Harmstone and everyone who noticed.
Yeah, but it's crazy because everybody knew us as our hashtags, not our names. And this season, everybody knows people's names. Or like the King or everybody knew names in this season. Sherry and Cole.
Okie dokie. So where we going? We're leaving Dubai. We're looking on the Travelocity app, and we're looking at a Helsinki trip. And
I hate that app. Go ahead.
We love Travelocity apps.
Just kidding.
We love our gnomes. They are our favorite people. We love you, Travelocity. It would be great if you want to sponsor our show. Crystal will apologize.
It's a love-hate. I hate it because I love it so much.
We don't talk bad about our potential sponsors here. No. And we find out that at 12:28, Kurt and Brody are leaving after finishing 4th. I mean, for their first place. 4 first place wins. and they are our honor statistic man. I know. How you doing over there? You have your statistics ready? Are they still on pace? Are they still on pace?
Right now, they actually are. Their average is still the best of the season so far. Even with this week, even with this week of 5, ending up in the bat to pat, they still have an average of 2.3.
James Earl, I love you so much. I can't with your charts.
I
love my charts. You don't even know.
Come on,
I know.
What's our average?
That is his thing. Our average is 2.08. And
so they're beating us. He has 2.03.
No, 2.3 is worse.
Oh, I thought you said 2.03.
So I love that. That's what he's known for. He's a great statistics guy, and I want that to be his thing. I want you to pop in anytime you want with any kind of statistics. You do your thing. I love it.
Okay, since we're talking about statistics, can we talk about these people leaving the mat? I did not realize how much of a spread there was with last week.
Oh, I know. It was so big.
Right. Brody and Kurt left at 12:30, and then, pretty much all the other teams are within an hour behind them, pretty much. Bernie and Ashley, 12:30, Tyler, Corey, 1:18, Zach and Rachel, 1:31, Dana, Matt, 1:48. Sherry and Cole left at 4:11. That's how far they were.
Whoa, 4 hours almost.
I mean, I didn't realize that when I was watching the show, but no wonder they really just, you could tell they knew they were going to be eliminated, but no wonder they were hours behind. I had no idea.
Yeah, and thanks to the bunch points, we're all caught up at the airport.
And the good thing for them, not only did they get extra sleepy because they left later, but they caught up. So
yeah, and they caught up. So they got to sleep late. They got the most sleep out of everyone, and they caught up with everyone else on the same flights, heading to a place that I'm extremely jealous. I wish we got a chance to go to Bali, Indonesia.
It looked so beautiful.
I know.
Just everything, the water. I was like,
yeah, that would have been.
I used to work a summer job that had a lot of Indonesian people, and they were telling my mom, because I work with my mom, how it was so great to see their home country featured, because they watch now because of us. So it was cute.
Nice.
So they all have to head to Denpasar Airport in Bali, Indonesia, which is considered to have the world's most diverse plant and animal life. Thanks, Phil. Are those Phil facts? I love his little Phil.
Oh my God! When you said the tallest, what'd you say last week? We were like, oh.
The most cranes. 20% of the world's cranes. 20% of all the world's cranes are in one little island. That's such a small.
This is what I think about that.
Nerd facts. All right, nerd facts. There's a lot of nerds watch our shows, and we love not nerds. We're geeks.
We love cranes.
All right. So there's a race here to get to a board where the teams are starting to get some separation. 2 teams, 3 separations, and Kurt and Brody are always up in the front, always athletic, always getting to these boards first, and they do it again. They get to the boards. They're going to be leaving at 6:15 with Sherry and Cole, who, like I said, got the most sleep out of everyone and seemed refreshed and rocking it.
They did really
I was say here's the thing about Sherry and Cole, and this is kind of just recapping their whole episode. If they can race like this every other leg, I think they'd be a really strong competitive team this season. And I'm not saying they haven't, because they've made it up to this point, but they were in it to win it this week.
Yeah, they were looking almost as good as last year's Alabama team, almost. The second group is going to be Tyler and Corey, Bernie and Ashley, and the final 2, Zach and Rachel, Matt and Dana. And when they wake up in the morning, they're going to have to do a task that I really enjoyed watching. It was deliver 2 different kinds of offerings. One was a big basket of fruit, which they got to cheat and use their hands, unlike us. And then the other one was to deliver the snakes, Britney Spears style, to another offering.
My God, moment of the episode.
Another missed quote that they should have titled the episode.
Yeah, I love how they had a task at a root info. This leg felt so long. They had so much packed into it. And
I'm still talking about Britney.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I just wanted to just say that. I like how they had to do these things at the location.
Wait, I was so excited that Tyler knew that Britney's snake is called Banana. Little fun fact.
What?
Wow, see, there's your nerd moment. This is what I got to say about that.
See? Wow. Okay, Cranes. Okay.
Banana. Britney's snake is called Banana. Thanks. Everybody if you want to Google it, it's a fact. Google it.
This is why you have me, and this is why we have you.
We have a diverse crew. That's why our show is so fun. I love it.
Bananas and pajamas. Go ahead.
All right. So everyone seems to get lost on the first go round because they are when all they had to do was walk. They said pretty much 20 feet to the right task, and everybody's thinking it has to be more difficult than that. So they all walk past it and go to different places, and they all seem to go back around.
Here's some stuff that, you know, it's hard to make this happen, but it's lucky when it does happen. So I think the best placed teams are the ones that are usually like kind of like right above the middle of the pack. Like that's where you want to sit until the end of the leg. Because those first teams that always get to a location struggle because you have no idea what you're doing. So when you're like the third or fourth team that shows up, you're like, oh, I'm just walking over there and putting this there. Got it. Because you have a team that's already figured out all the hard stuff for you.
Let them do all the work and just come and sweep it up. So the fruit is fun. They get lost, but the real fun comes when everybody has to put these snakes on.
Oh, yeah.
The faces that half of these people make are priceless. Between Tyler, Corey, Zach, and then you got Beast Sherry, who's just like, oh, I like this one.
Oh, no,
want a bigger one.
Because like I loved this moment from the episode. She went, oh, honey, I'm fine with a snake. I'm not worried about a snake. I got this.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, you got the big one or something.
No, like because of how pretty it was. Because it was yellow.
But did you notice that all the girls were the ones that were not afraid of the snakes? It was all the guys. Like Zach literally was freaking out.
Wait, Zach washed his legs off after in the water. Like there was slime on him.
It pooped on him.
Oh, it pooped on him.
Extra footage land. It pooped on him.
Oh, gosh.
And also, me and Tiffany were laughing so hard because Corey looked like he was wearing a scarf. Did you see the snake? It was like literally around his neck. It was a scarf.
Well, that's going to be your thing, Krista. You're extra footage land queen, so when you got some gems, some extra footage, you just feel free to toss them in.
Extra footage land.
I love it. I love the little extra footage facts because a lot of people don't get to watch them. I haven't been doing a good job about posting them.
I'll talk about extra footage land.
Yeah, Corey was freaking out when his snake was like near his armpit. Right?
And then one was like,
and then Tyler's, it was coming up like around his neck. He just froze.
Why didn't nobody hold like the head? Okay.
Well, kind of like Bernie. Go ahead, Chris.
No, because I just know people are gonna make a comment. So move on.
No, but like how Bernie and Ashley, like she just held it and was walking along. I know.
Bernie and Ashley are adorable. I love them. So search for your next clue. After everybody finishes this part, you have to search for your next clue, which is a half a mile from the Bat Temple to the natural, like some natural salt.
Half a kilometer.
Oh, what?
Half a kilometer.
Oh, sorry, half a kilometer. I said half a mile. My bad. It's the American. Half a kilometer to the Bat Temple, past the Bat Temple. And then we get to our roadblock. So all this was...
Speed bump. Do we want to do the speed bump first?
Oh, the ghetto speed bump.
Speed bump.
What happened with the ghetto speed bump?
Somebody must have forgotten. Like when they were packing up the Amazing Race trunks, somebody must have forgot the speed bump sign.
Stop it. I know, like, we're trying to cut budgets. What's going on?
You guys, no, the speed bump, what, you mean the picture?
Yeah.
No, like the spray painted thing.
This thing.
Here, this thing here. Hold on. Whoa. Look, it's like got a spray painted. It says speed bump, spray painted.
Because they want to be edgy, guys. It's so retro. It's the new thing.
No.
It's ghetto, not retro.
It's retro. It's like Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Like, everyone's doing that.
That's ratchet. It's ratchet is what it is.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear James Earl. I tell my students all the time about ratchet. Ratchet.
I think the word you're looking for is wretched. You just don't know how to say it. It's like ratchet, a tool, wretched. Google it. Here we go. So
yeah, Scott and Blair had the speed bump sign too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get like
2 years in a row.
I'm telling you, somebody probably forgot to pack it up. And they got there.
They're
like,
they didn't use it during our season, so they lost it.
Yeah, but then make a new one or something. I don't know. I want to get to the bottom of it. I'm going to ask my contacts.
All right. So the roadblock. This is one of the crucial points of the race where sometimes it's getting to and from places that makes people lose the race. Sometimes it's the challenges, the tasks, and this one proved to be the challenges. This one proved to be you make the wrong decision, you're kind of going home. So at this task, they had to use a bamboo pole to carry 2 bags of water filled with this salt water from the sea and saturate the land until it was fully saturated. Once it was, the salt master said it was saturated, you had to go and scoop out salt from the brining pools that were in these wooden trunks. And then after that, you had to go and put these salt into these bags and tie it with these little, I guess the bags were so tiny. So I love that this task had so many different elements, and it had brawn, it had brains, it had dexterity. And
okay, Survivor.
So I love this part of the Amazing Race. I'm really a big fan of this task's roadblock. But the crucial part came down to only one girl did it. One girl did it.
And the thing is, too, I don't even think they could have, because I was looking to where they chose who did it, and they weren't even anywhere near the location to be able to see. So it really was just a blind guess.
I thought about that, too. Not that it would matter because we're both girls, but I'm the same exact thing. I was like, could they have peeked? And then I looked back, and you said it was far.
Yeah, like they had to run through these giant trees and then go around the corner to see it. So it's not even one of those you should be like, oh God, that looks hard. Zach, you need to do this. So you can't blame them. It wasn't a wrong decision. It was just an unlucky one. Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a better wording. It was an unlucky decision. This is when we first find out about Kurt having. I thought he said stage 2 on the.
When it said it, it was muffled, so I was like, I couldn't understand either.
Yeah, so that's why I thought it was stage 2. There's a thing called stage 2, which is stage 0. That's why I brought that up, and actually I was wrong. It was stage 3, which is almost like untreatable. So
that's not true.
Isn't stage 4 untreatable?
Stage 4, James Earl.
So it's complicated. Stage 4 is worse. You're right, it is worse. Nothing is untreatable. Things are uncurable.
Sure.
But with stage 3, it can be resected completely. Got you.
That means taken out?
Yes, sorry, taken out with surgery. Sorry, so sorry. But
guys,
that's boring talk. We need to move on.
I'm on 3% here, so if I disappear, I gotta juice up a little bit. That's what I call charging. I gotta get some more juice, and then I'll be back.
All right, I would shout out to Tiffany. Tiffany, go get the charger so we don't have to lose our girl.
I'm on the charger though.
All right, so we are here. The task is underway. Sherry's cheering on Rachel, the only girl, and I love to see that. This also,
that was cute.
This is also, all these tasks were in close vicinity to everybody, and there wasn't a lot of helping on this race. There wasn't a lot of helping on this this
I don't
episode.
Think you could.
No, but I think it's like they do appropriate levels, and I've been thinking about it, and when I think back to our race, we were super helpful in the beginning of the season too. So I think we may have been a little too harsh on this season at first with all the helpfulness, because when I thought about it, we were too. But when you start getting this far into it, people are exhausted, they're tired, they can feel that $1 million, like you can see it, like you were almost there. And I think they are going through the same thing that we went through.
Yeah. I think the same thing. It's starting to feel real. It's starting to feel like one of us can win, and you feel like anyone can win at any time, no matter how dominant any teams have been. And I totally feel that. And I think that that's exactly what's happening. And with the double U-turn next week, I hope we see some fangs.
Oh, I guarantee we will. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I liked how there were so many different parts of this roadblock. It wasn't just A to B. It was like A to B, B to C, C to D, and then you were finished. Which I thought it just felt like a really long episode with the tasks at the route info.
Yeah, we haven't even got to the kites and stuff.
Right, the multiple parts of this roadblock. It was a lot.
And some highlights from this was Tyler wanted to make a skinny margarita, frozen, of course.
Wait, could we talk about the way he was doing the
Mi Amigo shimmy?
Oh my God, I was legit crying.
Mi Amigo!
Was that strategy? No, when he was actually putting the water on, he was like...
Oh.
It worked, though. Like, if you looked at the ground, it was doing really good.
It was really funny, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were talking about when he asked the judge, he came over.
No, he was shimmying.
He was doing the shimmy.
He did he
shimmied his way from point A to point B to first place.
Tyler says, "OMG, my technique was not cute." Yes, it was.
It was so
Yes,
funny.
it was.
Yeah, it looked just like me from
You're
that
not gonna
season,
like
so
it.
was
You're not gonna like it, Tyler. But we love it. We thought it was great.
And
Oh,
Cole.
one more thing about this roadblock too is, oh sorry, yeah, Cole was a beast. Sorry, I want to make sure we give Dana the credit she deserves because every week we talk about Dana on the other end of the spectrum. Dana was super supportive this episode, like from from the beginning to the end, and especially during this roadblock. So like, I want to give her credit when it's due. Like,
yeah,
get
Yeah,
it?
because
Especially
people
roll-
always point out the negative, so you're 100% right.
especially rolling in at the back of the pack and last. She wasn't arguing with Matt because they were in last, and you could tell that they had some obstacles to overcome. But like you said, James, she was very motivating and very positive. So
Yeah, and the extra footage, she's really calm too as well. There's not really a lot of drama in her extra footage.
So you wonder how much of her attitude.
The edit is the edit. And Cole definitely, he's been getting a lot of slack, and he beasted it this week. He stepped up.
Oh my God.
And he was definitely impressive with the muscle challenges.
Yeah, when everybody like looked that he was doing it, they were like, oh boy.
Yeah. And then from there,
he was just picking up the whole ocean and bringing it back and just putting it down.
Yeah, and I think in extra footage land, Phil sees there's like a vein coming down his arm. And he's like, oh, you're all pumped up or something like that.
And then like Tyler was like, well, look at me.
Look at my pale
I
arms.
love when they check in at the pit stop, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I know.
So Bernie did. Oh, actually, Cole had a second advantage when it comes to the scooping challenge because we learned that Cole worked at Milky Moo's for a summer.
Like, of course,
That's
those
what I
skills
said
are going to come in handy.
Yeah, when I heard
Milky
the cow
Moose.
noise before I said hashtag Milky Moose.
I'm sorry, I just got a text. Hey, how are you? Cab's here. Listen, I still didn't let the cab go. My cabs never leave now. I took the cab to the airport, and he's still waiting outside.
Still waiting outside. He takes me to school. It's just.
They're not allowed to leave. So Bernie was steady, slow and steady. He did his thing. He crushed it. Actually, it wasn't slow.
Sherry's here.
He was really fast.
Sherry's here, and she's
Hi, Sherry.
Sherry, we gave you mad props for being extremely supportive. This to the only girl who was doing.
Yeah, that was just sweet. That was just like clearly the mom in her coming out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, extra footage land. She was tying Cole's shoes in the cab. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. She's like, oh, all of a sudden she's bending down. I'm like, what is she doing? She's tying his shoes for him in the cab. It was the cutest thing ever.
I'm sure they, how the sound guy's in the back with you, that you have all the bags sometimes on you, that you can't bend over to do it. So it's easier to just give your foot to your partner.
It was really funny.
Me and Diana love the way they talk to each other. Like, he always calls her Mama.
Like, good job, Mama. Good job, Mama.
Good job, Mama.
Just keep moving forward, Mama.
Yeah.
So sweet.
So here we are. We are going through the challenge, and from this part of the race, there's a lot of chances for people to help each other or potentially help each other, and there really isn't happening. And this is when you start to see it, and it definitely continues when they get to the Kite landing. There's a lot of people asking questions and nobody helping out. Again, there's been a lot of people talking about all the helping, so I want to point that out, that if you're gonna,
I think it's getting less and less as the episodes continue, though.
Yes, and this is where we also see Kurt stumble for the first time during a challenge, and he drops the bag of salt. It cracks everywhere, opens, and he can't tie it right. So this is the first time that Kurt's actually struggling, or we've seen him struggle through the whole race. And they fall behind in the challenge as well.
I think they only lost a couple positions. I think they were the first in and third out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's the most struggle you're doing, I'll take it.
Yeah, but for a team that's riding 4 first place finishes, it's for third place is a struggle. Yeah. So deliver it. I'm sorry, I missed my point. So Zach says, why didn't you guys use the express pass?
I loved that.
He mentioned this little point here, and it's just a little tidbit, and you see like people's faces, and
Crickets.
It's like,
Crickets.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm surprised that more people, maybe they just didn't show it because it wasn't useful. I don't know, but I'm surprised like more people weren't asking when he was taking so long on the kite, like why didn't they just skip it?
Yeah.
Nobody said anything, or did they and we didn't see? I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the best stuff from there, and we could go to the speed bump. We didn't really talk about the ghetto speed bump besides the sign. So
Stop saying that.
From the speed bump, they had to track down this I guess like a food truck guy and get him to give them 10 bowls of soup that they had to sell for 10,000 rupee, which I looked up and that's
35 cents.
Oh, I thought it was 76 cents, but it's very cheap. So some people asked like, oh, those people that were waiting around must have been set up by production or something because they just sold it too fast. It's like it's less than $1. You could
they were hungry.
That's a lot of food for less than $1, and you could be on TV. Any American would have done it. Yeah. You didn't have to set it up or pay people to be there. I would have done it for free.
I don't think the challenging part of that speed bump was the actual challenge itself, but if you heard Cherry, when they ran all the way like the half a kilometer, they got there and it's like you have to go back to where you were. So they had to run back another half a kilometer, do it, and run back again. I think
and then they had to eat it, which was supposed to be really spicy, and Cole kept referring to it as an animal testicle.
But wait, I don't discredit it at all, but there's crackers and water.
There was
but there were those meatballs and noodles.
Well, no, I'm saying because it was really spicy, but they had crackers and water too.
Right,
so.
right.
I hate spicy stuff, so I would definitely have struggled. But they both did a really good job with it. They had a lot of fun.
Definitely, yeah.
It was not testicle. It was either beef, pork, or chicken. I asked somebody. They said that's what it was, so it wasn't.
Beef. Cherry's in the chat. How'd you like it, Cherry?
It did have a weird consistency because boiled meat always has a weird consistency. Don't ever boil your meat. I don't know why anybody would. All right, so we're here.
I'm so sorry. Sorry.
You all right over there?
Your comments, I just take them differently.
All right, so we're heading to the roadblock where we have to build and fly a huge kite. And this is a double roadblock, no detour.
I liked it.
And this is where Ashley rolls up. Bernie and Ashley are the first there. Ashley's like, let's get ready to kill this detour. Roadblock. I love
Blindside.
I love the non-predictability of the race. As much as you try to predict it, you can't really get it, no matter how much you know. I'm still trying to figure out what the final task is going to be. We'll ask that at the end. So the roadblock is they have to build and fly this huge kite. I don't know how long it was. I don't know if anybody got those details, but
James Earl, did you measure it?
Had to be 150.
I'm sorry, did not get my little calculator out and measure it on the computer.
If anybody in the chat room could tell us, 50 feet, 100 feet, half a football field, how big the kite was. What it was, because that tail was.
He said that the tail could be 1,000 feet long.
Can be. I just didn't know how long the ones were.
Diana, that was good. You got it.
Now, since Brody used the express pass on the roadblock, this is it. Like he's going to do this one. This is actually his third roadblock that he's going to really complete at this point.
He's so inexperienced.
And Kurt's already finished 6, so it's pretty uneven going into this point, and that's been highlighted a lot.
It's scary not to have the option. Like, to just know that it's you, and no matter what the task is, it doesn't. Who cares if it's your skill set or your partner's? You're stuck doing it. That's a scary position.
Some people do that, and give like the strong competitor like the last, so they can finish strong.
Yeah, but you just never know what it's going to be. That's why, like, Tiff and I would just randomly like switch, because who knows what it's going to be at the end. It could be dancing. It could be
Did you switch each leg like this, like it's you, this like it's me? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because we did it like...
You like really, really thought it was something specific.
Right.
But otherwise we just switched.
Yeah, because we like kind of looked at it and judged and felt like, okay, I would do it, he would do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I always had first pick, but I didn't want to go in with the you, me kind of mindset, because I wanted to be able to think on my feet and go. So
yeah, with 2 girls, I guess it didn't make that much because you guys have a lot of the same skill set.
Like, unless it was something like we really thought, but.
So we're here at this challenge. Bernie's really confident because as he points out, that Brody has to do this, and he has to do every roadblock from here on out. So Those are gunshots.
I think that's.
You guys got where like?
I was like, what is happening
What
in your
is
life
going
right now?
on, like in Philadelphia land?
I don't know, but there were 6 gunshots. So can you close our door so we don't get shot?
See if Kelsey and Joey reported on anything on Twitter.
Yeah. See what happened. See why we needed that $1 million so we could get out of here.
Oh,
Hey guys,
please.
real quick, I have to go to work. Can I give you a couple more thoughts? I want to
Go. Give us a steel clap too.
Yes.
Go.
And I'm
Steel
gonna
clap
do
of this
my-
week is going to go to Rachel because she beasted that challenge. That was a tough challenge for any female going up against 5 other males, and she did not complain. Like, she just beasted it. Like, she could have easily just broken down and be like, you know what, I'm over this. We're not going to win, but she just kept going. So she has to get my steel clap this week.
Yes, and not one tear. She
I mean,
cried
I love
all
it.
excited and crying.
A few other things that I wanted to point out in the episode too. I thought this was hilarious when Bernie was jumping off that little yacht at the end. He almost busted it on the beam. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but he squeaked by that little beam by the skin of his teeth.
I have to go rewatch it.
What?
And then
So
one
Bernie
other thing
almost
I
hit
want
the
to
beam.
point out too is when Kurt and Brody were actually starting to paddle to the pit stop, you could see Sherry and Cole and Matt and Dana in the background, still not at the ship.
I saw that. I said that. I was like,
So
you
it was
can see them.
close.
I did see that.
Yeah, they were in the same shot. You can't hide that. Yeah.
All right.
I don't think first
I
was
thought this
this.
was a great episode though. This was a really good episode.
Thank
A
you so
hard
much.
leg.
Go save some lives. We really appreciate
Sorry,
you,
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Dr. Corley.
Dr. Corley.
Dr. Corley. Ooh, I'm holding on to 2%.
All right, let's get to it then. All right, we're here building, and at the building challenges, Bernie goes in confident. Corey gets in there and does what he's done all season long, beasts these building challenges, goes in, I think, second or third and comes out first. Brody looks like he's lost the whole time he's there. He's copying off Ashley. He's doing whatever he can. Maybe it's editing, but it seems like he's struggling.
Well, why wasn't he looking at the example? Why would you look at somebody that might not know what they're doing?
I think because it was closer.
And I think because trusting Ashley's example is like she's interpreting the example properly. I guess he trusts.
Knows, though.
I know. But like, yeah, I don't know.
Is there anything else that stood out from this challenge for you guys? It was pretty straightforward. There's a lot of you had to attention to detail.
Something did, and this is going to be my hair flip, so I'm just going to do it now. Just
Get it, girl.
Get cut off. My hair flip is going to Corey. I can't because my neck hurts. Because he made this might be a super fan move that you missed. He took the station that was the closest to the example, and I really feel like sometimes those seconds, those minutes really count. So when everyone was running back and forth, he was right next to it the entire time, and he was just like, and
That's
those
funny.
little things really count. And because he nailed it and they got first place, that's my hair flip.
No,
That's-
That's
yeah.
a big deal.
I noticed that
Those
too.
little things.
Bernie did that.
that's why I was going to give my
Yeah.
superfan move to Bernie for.
Because he was like distance to the ocean for the.
He
for the
looked.
salt test.
He claimed
Yeah.
that one. He's like, I knew it's going to be a lot of walking back and forth. He claimed that one, and so it's the same mindset. I
Yeah.
love it.
See, I'm a super fan too.
I love it. He gets the superfan move. Bernie, if you're watching,
What?
shout out to superfan move of the
It's
episode.
just things like that like you should never stop racing. Like there's no reason to walk. You always have to think like what's going to give me the advantage. It's being closer in this position. It's never stop racing.
And that's what separates, people first from third. I mean, it's also Bernie and Ashley. It's that little thing. If they would have thought of that same thing that they did on that one task, on the second task, they could have gotten first place. But it's that little things that make all the difference. All right, let's get out of this task and get to the finish line. We're heading down to Samo Wing Beach. You take an outrigger to Phil that's on a boat. And, all right, first place, Tyler and Corey are going out there, and something weird happens that a lot of people are talking about. As they're paddling up, Phil is like, yo, you guys are in first.
He's the first team to
You're first team to
arrive.
arrive.
And then they paddled accidentally all around the ship.
Now, that's right. Don't let nobody shoot us. So I've never seen anything like that before. Like
That was
he's
cool though. I don't know. Maybe it was just because nobody was catching up to them, and it was like different kind of like scenario. Like, hey, you're first.
I know because the edit made it seem like there was a real race for first, but when you see stuff like that, there was no way there could have been a real race if he was like, hey, you guys are first. I don't know.
Yeah,
it just seems really weird. They're really different. But Tyler and Corey win. They step up back into their.
I love their comment.
What?
We're some pirates just here looking for some booty.
Oh yeah,
we're just two pirates looking for some booty.
Oh boy!
Again, they made Phil blush again.
Third time in a row, they got Phil blushing at the mat.
Yeah, but that should have been the episode title was so. Ugh.
Salt That Sand. Yeah, Salt That Sand, or you could have had the Britney Spears. You could. I mean, I guess
the dragon comment, and the dragon was wearing a wig. Like, come on, then there's so much good material. I gotta find out who's
picking the episode.
I said this to Corey. I said whoever's picking the episode titles is the one that made the Amazing Race top 25 teams of all time. Something's not going on. Right?
And was in charge of the speed bump sign.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting fired. Tyler said that production didn't quite think of how to get them from the outrigger to the boat. So that's why they had them do a lap, I guess, until they thought about it. Because they jumped in with mics and all. Like, they didn't even have the right mic. Sometimes when you do water challenges, like, they would give you
put a condom on your mic.
Yeah.
Keep it waterproof.
But you'd also have a different mic. But I guess this was unscripted and, well, everything's unscripted, but it just something that they didn't think about.
Yep. So Bernie and Ashley finish in second for the fourth second. All right, so here's some comparisons. They have their fourth second place in a row, now starting from leg 6. Joey and Kelsey have 5 in a row, and they're started in leg 7. So Bernie and Ashley could beat their second place record and still win the $1 million.
I said they're Kelsey and Joey 2.0.
Well,
That's what we said, because we said that Kurt and Brody had 4 wins and they had 4 second places. But I don't feel like they are
getting a winner's at it, right? Is that right?
I know.
I think so.
Have something about that.
What?
I don't know if we should talk about it, if that's our thing or not. But the cancer thing for Kurt coming out now, I was like, do they win? Like, when they said it now, part of me was like, is that the winner's at it? Is that
I think
starting to shape them?
That's usually right before they go.
Yeah, I think the opposite.
If they don't go next, that might be the winner.
I just kind of thought like overcoming obstacles, overcoming all these things, and
I agree more with Justin. I feel like it's going the other way for some reason.
Well, I mean, it's the U-turn board, and you know somebody's going to either U-turn them or call Tyler or Corey.
Someone's using it.
Oh, definitely.
Better.
Well, I got confirmation that somebody uses it. It's a spoiler alert. I don't know who. I just know somebody uses it. So Bernie and Ashley finished in second, and you got Sherry and Cole finishing very well this leg.
Yeah, after recovering from that speed bump, they moved up too.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. Sherry said that her boob sweat killed 3 microphones. And Sherry, I never killed microphones, but I remember them always getting upset. They're like, "Oh, your mic is like rubbing against something."
Oh, really?
Like,
because every time I got mic'd up, Tanner and Josh would be like, "Oh, you're making up Krista?" And they were just so happy to come.
Yes.
And their tall view.
Yeah.
They kept asking me to like dig and separate.
Dig and separate.
Oh my God.
Because they're like, we can't hear you. There's so much interference. Your mic's okay.
Big boot problems. Yeah. I wouldn't know. Well, a little bit. So there is a race for last place. Kurt and Brody and Zach and Rachel are racing for last place, and I really thought that Kurt and Brody were gonna.
They were again like Josh and Tanner in the canoe. Oh my God, I was hysterical when they couldn't get it together.
Their in the end, their muscles powered them through. But
it was a flashback to
100%.
We definitely were like, it was like if somebody with the right technique, they could have just went right past them. But that was a long distance, so I think stamina took over in the long run. And Zach and Rachel, my picks to win. Out of it, I only have one team left. It's Matt and Dana.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Zach and Rachel, one of the sweetest couples to ever run the race.
Tyler said the paddling took 30 plus minutes.
What?
30 crazy. Minutes? And it's the ocean. It's not, I mean, like what we had to paddle across was difficult. It was a river and there was a current. So going one way was easier than coming back. But they were in the ocean. They had waves, and you saw the big boat rocking. 30 plus minutes. That's crazy. And that's all upper arms.
Yeah, I thought like maybe 15, and I know we always say like that's how you know it's
right.
completely different.
And think of how many other tasks they had. Like
that's a long leg.
That's a long leg.
This leg I think was the most difficult leg so
yeah.
far.
How long was the leg? Tyler, Corey, Sherry, if you're in there, like
from
like
start to
finish, from the time that you guys landed, how many hours would you say that leg was? Because I know just watching it was a lot to fit into an hour.
If you didn't like this leg design, there's something wrong with you. You had to use brains. You had to, like I said, you had to use your brawn. You had to use endurance. You had stamina. You had everything was involved.
Beauty with the snake.
There was beauty with the snake. They had it all. It was,
yeah.
It was a lot of cool things. There was culture. There was beautiful landscapes. There was drama for first place, drama for last place. One of the best episodes of the season. And next week, the double U-turn.
So excited.
100% gets used. I'm super excited to see this strategy coming out.
Chatter of it.
There's some people that you can clearly see. The two most strategic teams, hands down, are Tyler and Corey, Bernie and Ashley. The physical team, hands down, is Brody, Kurt and Brody are the most physical team.
And competitive-wise, I think Matt and Dana, too.
Matt and Dana,
I think they're going to be scratching and clawing.
Matt and Dana, if they get the right tasks, they'll dominate. I think their skill set, they're really good at what they're good at, and they're okay at the stuff they're not. Like, so...
Really quick. So Kelly in the chat room, she said they started at 6 a.m. and that's right because they got to Bali. They pulled the start time.
6:15,
6:15 was the
6:30,
first
okay.
time, and they said that it kind of looked like around sunset. So however long the day was in Bali, you know, maybe it was a 12-hour day.
A 12-hour leg is a long leg. Some of our legs were, 4 hours long and they're done. Like 12-hour leg.
And Tyler in the chat room says, from the boat, we could see Brody, Kurt, and Rachel and Zach. They didn't know who was going to be last because it was such a tight race. So they were, I mean, it was probably just stroke for stroke. And it was crazy. It was so sad to see if
you watch it, you could see how close they were. Sorry, again.
No, it's fine. No, that when Kurt and Brody jump off their boat to get to the main boat, you could see Zach paddling, and you just saw that defeat.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, we know what that's like. That's as soon as Kelsey and Joey got the approval that it's like you want to give up, but you can't. You have to finish it still.
Yeah, It hurts. So it's like a dagger.
It does hurt. It does.
So Diana, who is going to get put in check? You're the only one who didn't throw out your feature.
This is tough because putting somebody in check, it's like teammate stuff.
Usually.
I know.
Was there any teammate stuff?
No, I feel like everybody's been really super nice to their.
See, my thought would be Brody for not stepping up and doing the challenge, like letting Kurt say, "Okay, I'll do this one again."
Oh, I mean, okay, yeah. Well, more so when they were paddling, the way that Brody was talking to Kurt, like, "Dude, maybe you don't get it, or maybe you don't know what to do." It's not the time to kind of break down when you're at the end.
Not the time to dude bro someone. Dude bro.
Boy.
But all in all, I love the episode. I think it was a great one. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Any questions in the chat room? Let us know. Do you have any comments about this episode in general, Crystal?
No, I mean, I loved it. It definitely was a great one to watch, like you said, scenery-wise, and I just think that for me, it looked like the most physical one so far. I mean, everybody in the cabs were just dripping sweat. And I always think of, how would I have handled that if I was Rachel, if it was me and Tiff, like, I wonder how we would have done on that leg, so.
Also, there's over 100 people in the room right now. If you could just, while you watch it, could you just click that little button on the bottom, just a little thumbs up? And if you really click the little subscribe if you had some fun. And if you really love us, you could share it and tell some people about it. And if you really, really love us,
You know who I missed tonight? We missed Michael Jenks in the chat room. He's not here tonight. He wasn't trying to make it, but he's always a good supporter.
Krista, you just put up a video, didn't you? Tell people where they could see it.
No, we had our masterclass today, so our video will be coming out this week.
Nice.
And also I have some really, really exciting news tomorrow that I'll be able to post.
We have exciting news.
So I think
we'll promote
next week.
Yeah.
Next week we have some exciting news as well.
Okay. Well, mine's tomorrow.
Yours is tomorrow.
And yeah, so we all have some exciting news. That's fun.
No, yours is. I'm really looking forward to that. Like I'm very jealous.
Oh, is it the thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
very
that is
jealous.
really good news.
Yeah.
I'm very jealous. And for all the people who follow me on Snapchat, I appreciate it. Snap. If you don't follow Snap, if you think you're too old for Snapchat, you're gonna catch up. Remember, you thought you were too old for Facebook too, and now you're on Facebook. Thought you're too old to send emojis, and now you're sending poop to your grandson. Like, Snapchat, get on Snapchat. But anyway, I finished the website, so if you guys want to check out the website that I've been talking about on Snapchat, you can go check it out. It's classic1media.com.
Very cool.
All right, guys.
Do we know who our guest is next week?
Next week, I didn't get confirmation from Tyler, but it might be Tyler. He's in the chat room. He doesn't respond fast on his Twitter, probably because there's like 8 million people sending
Oh my
messages.
gosh, probably so many people writing to.
Yeah.
If I have like 5 people writing to me, I'm overwhelmed.
But if he's free, we'll have Tyler. If not, I will reach out to Matt and Dana and see if they're able to jump us.
That reminds me, really quick before we say goodbye, if anybody is trying to follow me on Snapchat, if you could like send me a message with what your Snap name is so I can accept you. I don't want to accept my students. I'm trying to keep like
student life separate.
Yeah.
I hope they don't watch this then.
Taken separate? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, they don't. I don't think they watch this. They do. Oh, they do watch your snaps, I think.
They do watch my snaps.
But I'd love to follow you back if you're trying to follow me, or if you are trying to follow me. Just send me a message. Or
my Snapchat is private. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It's very funny though if you do get accepted.
But I just want to interact with more people that I know are not my students. That's the only thing.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. The show is now called Racers Recap. So if you want to share it with people, you can go to share racersrecap.com instead of saying like youtube.com/blah blah blah. It's just racersrecap.com.
Exclusive. The only one with racers.
With all
former
racers.
And present.
All former racers. So racersrecap.com. If you want to use the hashtag, you can use it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, #RacersRecap. Thank each and every one of you so much for your support. It really means a lot. We genuinely appreciate it. We have so much fun. Without you, there is no
Winter is coming.
Winter's coming. It's time
I'm so excited
for Game of Thrones. And if you want to follow me on Snapchat.
Okay, bye, guys.
See ya.
Love you guys.
Bye.